there. Oh my gosh,
Hey
I'm so
there.
excited we get to talk today. Why don't we take a
Yay.
quick second for everybody who might not know you or that cutie in the background, and you can introduce yourself and your chapter.
I'm Melissa Fleming. My little man Brock is behind me. I'm a part of the Austin Round Rock chapter, Team Brock chapter. I sure. But there's actually four or three other kids now that have joined our chapter. So we have Caitlin, who battled in 1999. We've got Claire and Alexis, who both battled in 2019, and they're joining our efforts, which is pretty amazing. But we started our chapter after Brock battled in 2016. Cutie pie, I miss him every day. He was just full of energy. He never walked. He bounced. I mean, he just bounced into a room, like kind of like Tigger. He loved Lego, swimming, sharks, dinosaurs, as you can see on this shirt. He was all about how he dressed and wanted to look handsome. So we just decided that we weren't going to sit back and watch this continue and form the chapter, and have been blessed to have three other families join us.
Yeah, I mean, you've done an amazing job within your community, with your supporters, with your friends, with your family. Do you want to tell us a little bit about how your community supports you and Brock?
It's been amazing. He definitely made an impression while he was around, and during his battle, he was able to be the Grand Marshal of the July 4th parade in Round Rock, and so I think that helped get some visibility. But I had an amazing committee, and every month they did activities and fundraisers, and so that really helped people be a part of it with us and Brock. And so since then, it's amazing. I always just tell people, like, as long as they continue to support us, I'll do it. And then they're like, okay, well, I'll do this and I'll do that.
And you just
So
keep
it's been
adding
great.
and adding to things, because people are like, I'm coming out for you. They're really fantastic.
And I think it's
Around
that they realize that our kids need more funding for research. They didn't realize what the lack there is. And as you know, the community, as parents, as business owners, they want to support and change it and make it better in our community. So definitely amazing. And it seems like, fortunately, I get to meet someone new every day and tell them about Brock and share his story.
I love that. And I kind of like what you said about people not understanding about the funding and kind of what's going on, right? You just got to go to the symposium, the DIPC symposium, right there in Texas. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what you brought back from that experience and what it is in your eyes?
Yes, I went to my first symposium in 2017. It was about 6 months after Brock had passed. And I remember sitting there and hearing all the researchers report in the status of their research and what they're finding, going, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I didn't know all this during Brock's battle, because this DIPG is just the absolute worst. And it's so complex. And it's not only about learning about the mutations, but how are we going to attack it? And so sometimes it can be a little overwhelming. But on the other hand, just to be in a room full of 100 researchers that are committed to figuring this out. I always say, like, I'll keep raising the money. You just keep doing what you're doing. We've got to find a solution. And then it's so wonderful being among all those parents. Everyone's at different stages. I mean, there were some families there that are in the battle and brought their kids, which was wonderful. And then just being, one of them, the Chatron family, I mean, their daughter battled 20 years ago, and getting her insight, and then some that are just starting. And so it's just good to be around a lot of like-minded people, even if we're in different stages, and really be able to get advice and kind of see how are they dealing with this, and how can I deal with it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a lot. We really have such a diverse group of people in every stage. And then you add the doctors and the researchers, and you see the collaboration on top of it. You walk away from that weekend just going, wow, and it drives you to do more. That's what I hear from you. Like, I'm going to keep going. As long as you guys keep doing this, I'm going to keep going.
Well, when you can physically see where your money is going, and that, all your efforts to raise money and all of our fabulous donors and sponsors, like, they can see it's funding research. And in fact, here's the doctor right beside me. That's so powerful to know that you're really creating change and you're having an impact, and that it's just not going to gift baskets.
Exactly. You know exactly what's going on. I guess that kind of leads me into my next question, and that's, what do you hope people know about The Cure Starts Now in your chapter and what you're doing in the future?
You know, with our chapter, I'm really trying to do three things, and I'll keep it short, but I want to create awareness that our kids do get cancer, that they get brain cancer. I had no idea that kids got brain cancer. And then when you're telling me that there's no cure and to enjoy the time that I have left with my son, how are you supposed to process that, right? So I need people to realize, like, this is not acceptable. And then, you know, to show them that it's less than 4% of government funding for all kids cancers, and less than 1% to brain cancer, which is the number one cause of cancer related deaths. Like, this just isn't adding up. And to help me raise money for research. And then lastly, to unite our community. I tell people sometimes, like, I'm selfish because I need these people around me. Like, they give me energy, they help get me out of bed, they help push me because they care. I mean, you have no idea. If I get a $5 donation or a $500 donation, both of them impact me because this person cared and chose to give us money. But what I see is when we involve the kids and the community, everybody's empowered. And I want them to see, when you have a really hard time, you have to choose how to handle it. And I want our kids to stand back up, keep fighting. And if we don't like it, let's change it and not accept it. And so that's really what I'm trying to do with our chapter, and why I keep rallying people to help me. I cannot do it all by myself.
You cannot, and you have the most amazing team and support, friends and family. Is there anything you want to say to them today?
Yeah, you know, our community is amazing. A lot of them were close friends, and then some of them were like strangers, and some of them are acquaintances, and they were compelled to help. And then they've just stayed with me these past 5 years. And, you know, I'm the face of it a lot of times, but it would not happen without all of them. And everybody plays a role. They're just more behind the scenes. But I go into any event, and I know I don't have to worry that we're all going to rally and make it happen. Amazing, amazing committee. And I'm just grateful that the Hernandez, the Chatrins, and now the Rangers have joined us, because we're just going to keep kicking butt.
You guys are a mighty force. I just absolutely love all of you. Each and every one of you is so special to me. And I want to thank you for taking the time today just to give a little insight into a variety of topics. And we love you. We love you. We love Brock, and we're not going anywhere. We're going to do this together.
Yes, yes, we are. Kick cancer in the nuts. That's what Brock wanted to do.
That's what Brock would say.
Yep, that's what he'd say.
Well, thank you again
Thank
for
you.
joining us.